Welcome, my fellow Americans, to another episode of Happy Hour. I'm your host, JD. It is festive here today. It is Friday. It's the month of May. It's only 40 degrees out, but we'll get to that later. We have an incredible guest on. Finally, we get Joe Jackson. The Joe Jackson from Custom Controls comes on. He's going to share one of his special projects he's working on. You do not want to miss this. Is he a surgeon? He might be. Let's find out on this week's Happy Hour. Welcome to another episode of Happy Hour. I have a very, very special guest. I say that every time, but this time I actually mean it. We have the one and only Joe Jackson. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's Friday afternoon.
It is Friday afternoon. That's why the shirt got a little loud today. So Joe is very well known, especially in these parts, for being an expert, a guru, if you will, for all things controls. Joe, first tell the audience, what do you do for the Custom Controls division?
Together with my son Ryan, we design, install, program, and service building automation systems.
Now, what's unique, though, is that you're able to give contractors watching this right now the ability to get into that world and to be the hero and get them big commercial projects, right? And go in there and, I mean, it's all over the place.
Sure. I mean, we help contractors out in whatever level of support they need, whether that's what we call parts and smarts, which means some controllers and maybe some programming and some engineering, and let them do the install. They can do the whole thing themselves. We can do the whole thing turnkey. It doesn't matter. So whatever level of support they need, we're good with that.
Awesome. So I'm not going to tippy-toe past this, but your last name is Jackson. You mentioned you work with your son. There's a lot of nepotism here. What is your relation to the Jackson name?
So it's really cool. At least I think it's cool. We have 3 generations of Jacksons here.
Yeah.
So my father, Ron, and my brother, Tom, started the company. I joined them 17 years ago to basically handle anything that they can't make. You don't pull off the shelf anyway.
Yeah.
So
they can't make it quiet. I know that. Can you
No,
make it quiet in here? Because they cannot.
Not make it quiet.
Okay.
We can struggle to make it comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. So, what did you do before you teamed up with your brother and your dad here at Jackson?
So, I spent the previous 15 years, before my 17 years here, with the Train Air Conditioning Company, servicing large chillers and controls as well.
Awesome. So, you've done it all, man. You've seen it all.
I've been around a little while.
Have you ever been on camera drinking beer at 11:30 in the morning?
Well, this is my second round of Happy Hour.
Nice. What are you drinking?
Today we're drinking Yoo-Hoo because no one could find a Mick Ultra. So
no Mickey Boy, so you go to chocolate milk in a can. I like that. That's a good alternative. I'm actually drinking, this is a beer. If you've watched previous episodes, we had a tournament of beers. And this is from a company called Golden Road in Los Angeles, California. A mango cart beer, a mango-flavored ale, and I thought it matched the...
it does match the shirt.
The outfit today, and it's pretty good. But, so, you brought some cool gadgets and toys for us to look at. So, what are you going to show us today?
Well, we just picked one of the projects that we'd finished recently, which is the Carmel Surgery Center, north of Indianapolis.
Greyhounds. That's where I'm from.
There we go. And we're just going to take a couple of quick views. I'm actually looking at it with Tritium software, but it looks identical if we just do it through a browser, just that it remembers my login and password and the IP address and everything else. Just because we do about 300 projects a year, it's pretty tough to keep track of it all. So my Tritium software it remembers all that for me and makes life a little easier. But the owner looks at it through a web browser. We'll also bring it up on my phone as an app. And we'll see what the building's doing.
Yeah, so you can show us exactly what's going on in the building as far as, what controls they have in there, what they want to automate, things like that. Now, here's a real quick question. What's your relationship with Distech Controls?
So we use Distech Controls for all of our projects. Distech has been around for 25 years or so, and they make Longworks and BACnet controllers. They're really highly advanced and have all the new BACnet IP stuff. And we've been their dealer here in Indiana for the last 17 years.
Nice.
And so they are definitely our control of choice.
Good. So yeah, let's check out the building. What are you going to show us?
So we'll just do a couple of quick views. They have a surgery center, one giant air handler that sits up on the roof. Actually, the surgery VAV boxes are still pneumatic, so they're not part of this system yet. They will be someday, but currently it's just the major equipment on the roof. So they have a 100-ton custom-built air handler coupled to a Carrier air-cooled 100-ton condensing unit. And the air handler runs off of our Distech ECB600 controller, and the condensing unit runs off factory Carrier backnet controls. So it's kind of cool. We have both factory controls integrated in and Distech controls integrated into the same piece of equipment. Added a few extra challenges, getting the building to balance the airflow and things like that.
Right.
But I think all that's past us now, and I think we got her really well dialed in.
So is this the largest? What's the largest rooftop unit you've worked with? You said this is 100 tons?
100 tons.
That's a lot of air.
It's technically an air handler. Usually when I think rooftop units, I think packaged equipment where the compressors and everything are all built in one. This is really two pieces of equipment.
No. Okay.
And it was custom built for this project, and we changed it out over a weekend. So the Dean Company and Jackson Systems spent Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday on the roof of this building, getting it ready to switch over. Maybe they gave us all day on Friday. Maybe they shut down surgeries on Friday. But it was a long weekend to get everything back up and running. So,
right.
So we can just see a nice home screen here.
Yeah.
Reminds everybody it was done by us. Uses Distech controls.
Forecast on there.
Yeah, we got that. We pull in the weather forecast from the Indianapolis International Airport, and Cornerstone's the property manager. So everyone's kind of represented there. Picture of the building I just took with my iPhone.
Nice.
And we just try to make everything really simple to use. If we want to see what's going on with the air handler, we just go up here where it says air handler and click air handler.
HU2.
If we have a fast internet connection, it'll go.
Do we have Comcast? Yes, we do. That means you're not going to get a.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, I've seen these graphics before. These are the ones that you can actually see the rooftop unit or the air handler functioning live.
Sure.
So you even see the fan animated there.
So the intent is not to make it look like the air handler. The intent is to help you understand how the air handler works.
Right.
And in this case, this is return air coming back from the building. We pass through a filter, which we monitor to tell if it's dirty or clean. We go through a return air fan. As we bring in more and more outside air, we have to exhaust some air. We'd overpressurize the buildings. Doors wouldn't go close. We have a relief air damper here. We have a return air damper here and an outside air damper here. And we can see the position of all those dampers. We're running 50%. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the outside air temperature, 50.2 degrees. The outside air damper is at 16%. If we look around a little bit, we can say that the minimum outside air damper is 16%. I don't have my glasses on, so I might struggle a little bit here.
16%.
16%. So the way we do it is anything underlined in blue, just like if you're on Google or something, it's a place for you to click. It doesn't mean you couldn't change something else, but these are the things we intended the owner to click on and change as they feel necessary. So we've got an economizer enable set point, deciding how cold or how hot it's got to be.
Right.
That's probably a little colder than we would normally set it, but they had some special requirements about not over pressurizing the buildings. We shut down the economizer a little earlier than we would typically do that. But you can see all the different pieces of information. You can see the supply fan. The control tells us it's on. The status proves that it actually did start. You can see the fan speed. And if the fan fails to start, it generates an alarm. Right now, it just says normal. On this machine, the ductwork in the building is a little undersized, actually. To get enough cold air down to the space, we actually have to run the discharge air pretty cold. So in the wintertime, we might let the mixed air temperature drop into the 40-degree range. And that's a little colder than we would normally do it. So because we were a little concerned that it might lock itself out, we put automatic resets on all the presets so you can reset them across the internet. We can see the duct static pressure that we're reading 2/3 of the way down the duct.
Wow.
it's supposed to be running 1 inch. It's running 0.96. So we're holding
We're close.
within
Yeah.
400ths of an inch. So we're right on the money there.
Close enough.
We also got a couple of exhaust fans that we monitor. And then on cooling, we just decide here, we enable the cooling, and we can take a little closer look at that. And from this screen, we can see that it's on, it's running 33%, and it's normal. But if we want more details about the air-cooled condensing unit, this happens to be a Carrier air-cooled 100-ton unit with
Wow.
backnet interface.
Look at all that.
So we can see everything. If you're an air conditioning guy, you could you'd want to know what the suction pressure, what the discharge pressure is. Condenser fans run on VFDs. In the case of this machine, it has 3 compressors on each of 2 circuits. We can see if the compressors are on or off. We can see the number of hours they've run. You can see the number of times they've started. All kinds of details about the equipment and how well it's running. So really nice for a service guy to be able to see that information. You can also see it from the Carrier display up on the condensing unit. So
now, the alarms here, do they go to the installing mechanical contractor, or do they go to you, or is it kind of just a shared responsibility?
They go to me, and I ignore them.
Okay. That's good to hear. It's like Comcast, customer service.
Well, every customer wants to send me their alarms, and we do 300 projects a year, so we literally have 1,000 buildings in just a few years all sending us alarms, and it would be, we just can't monitor everyone's alarms for them.
Right.
So they also go to the Cornerstone company. They're the building managers.
Gotcha.
And the mechanical contractor is currently receiving them. They had a few problems with the Carrier condensing units, so they've kind of stepped up, and they're taking alarms for maybe the warranty period or something like that. So if we look at the alarms, they didn't clear any out. So it looks like the last alarm they got was air-cooled condensing unit number 2, which is the one we were just looking at. Back on, geez, I don't have my glass on, the 8th of May, it looks like. It had some sort of alarm. It dialed it out, sent it out. We send them, they have to go out as emails, but we can convert that to a text, and it sends it out to everybody. And
very cool.
If that thing dies, then they have to jump on their phone or whatever, the laptop, and take a look, see what's going on. We don't try to give them every detail when the condensing unit generates an alarm, just that there is an alarm, and they probably need to investigate.
Now, I'm interested in this trends tab because, I mean, ROI is so huge. What can we view here?
So we can view lots of different things. I'm going to have to break down and put my glasses on here.
Old Man Jackson,
That's
bringing out the glasses.
Exactly right. Let's see here. Histories.
Whoa, look at all that.
If we want to watch the discharge air temperature, that would be something people would typically want to watch.
Whoa.
So
okay.
it looks horrible.
Yeah, it's a big jump at there at 1 a.m.
But it's really swinging between, this guy here is 48 degrees, and this one here is 51. It automatically scales.
Okay.
So that big jump is about a 3-degree jump in discharge air. I'm guessing what happened is at this point right here, the condensing unit's kicked on. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
But any point along the timeline, you can just dial in and see what it really is. You can also pick the timeline if you want to pick the last 7 days.
Oh, wow. So there's no shortage of things you can trend or see trend in here. I saw tons of options.
There we go.
Look at that.
So yeah, you can get all kinds of details. Anything we want to trend. We don't trend absolutely everything, but anything you want to trend, we definitely could. So really helpful if they have a problem and they want to go back and say, well, the surgeons complained it was warm in the surgery room yesterday at 3 o'clock. We can go back yesterday at 3 o'clock and see if this piece of equipment was doing its job.
Very cool.
Yeah, pretty nice. Also, along with doing everything off of a screen here, all of our newer controls will run off of an app. And I'll pull up the DiskTech app. And I picked the Carmel Surgery Center. I picked the air handler that we're looking at. It comes up. really cool. You can see every point in the machine. You can see schedules. You can see any alarms that have been generated, same as there. If you override anything, this guy turns bright purple. But most of the guys want to look at this favorite screen. And being an ex-air conditioning guy, or still an air conditioning guy at heart, it gives us all the information that a service tech's going to want. So we can see the discharge air temperature is 51 degrees, and the discharge air set point is 54 degrees. Right off the bat, if I know that information, and I know what the duct static pressure is, by looking at the fans. Takes just a second to update. Maybe.
Is one platform better than the other, like Android versus iPhone, or is it all the same?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Go. All right, make a liar out of me.
Well, I can fill this empty void by asking you a question here, Joe.
Okay.
You mentioned that the temperature comes from the Indianapolis airport. Do you have any interesting stories about the Indianapolis airport that you care to share, or at least hint on out there? I know we actually kind of teased it before here on the show.
Well, I'll show you one last thing. It shows this. It's kind of hard to see, but it also shows us the duct static pressure is running 1 inch. So at a glance, I know the machine's running 54-degree discharge at 1 inch of static. That machine's doing a great job. It's time to drink a beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Or a Yahoo.
Or a Yahoo.
But yeah, what? Tell me, give me the real skinny on this Indianapolis airport deal.
We did shut down the Indianapolis International Airport. We did their tower where they control all the airplanes. Actually, we didn't shut it down. We were accused of shutting it down.
Right. Clear the air here.
Clear the air. We were working in the building, and that's the tallest air traffic control tower in the country. It doesn't look all that big as you drive by.
No, it's huge.
But it has several hundred tons of cooling in it, and it's 10 stories tall. And so while we were working in it, they got a high temperature alarm coming from one of the air handlers. It emptied out the tower and shut down the airport. It really, at first, thought it had to be us because we were there, but after a little more investigation, they found it was part of the fire alarm system that shut it down, not us.
Good. So now we have that clear. Now you guys are completely void of any kind of responsibility.
Yep.
Okay. So, and Joe, is there anything else you want to tell the contractors about what you guys do at Custom Controls as far as getting them into this world of the side of controls?
Yeah. If you need help with any type of controls, we have a great staff. We really have a great staff. And you need us to come out and take a look at a building with you to help you understand what you really have. One of the things we don't do is we don't service Johnson Medicines. That's not our thing. We don't have access to it. Mm-hmm. But if you have an old system and you need it replaced, we can help you with it in lots of ways. We can help you understand what's in the building, help you understand what it would take to get it updated, and that's kind of what we do day in and day out.
Very cool. Okay, so Joe, if you've watched the show before, you know we do a very special segment, a lightning round of questions to get to know Joe Jackson. However, originally, Tyler Hirschberger was our guest scheduled, and we were able to somehow snag you in here. So these questions may not be that familiar as I prepared for Tyler. So let's go ahead and try the lightning round questions. Are you ready to play, Joe?
I'm ready to play.
Okay. Question number 1. What is the best bar in Purdue, the Neon Cactus or Nine Irish Brothers?
I've only been to Nine Irish Brothers. Both of my sons graduated from Purdue, and I've been to Nine Irish Brothers, so I have to go with that.
That is correct, actually. You look it up on Yelp. It's number 1. Very good. Now, wait, did you go to Purdue?
No, I did not.
Okay. But you have... Tom went to Purdue?
Tom went to Purdue. And my son, Ryan, who works here, and my other son, Aaron, who doesn't work here.
They went to Purdue.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know. All right. Question number 2. What is your favorite hobby? Drone flying or ballroom dancing?
Well, I've never been ballroom dancing, but I do own a drone, so we'll have to go with drones.
Oh, that is incorrect. Your favorite hobby is ballroom dancing. Sorry about that.
I don't think so.
All right, so All right, question number 3. Best Zelda game, Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time?
Never played either, sorry. I'm an old guy.
Well, that is incorrect. The answer is Link to the Past. That was the Super Nintendo version. All right. For Tyler. Question number 4. Who wins in a fight, James in sales or James in production?
Oh, James in production.
Oh, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. All right, now, here's a question I have just for you. Which Jackson got in the most trouble? Joe, Tom, or Dave?
Oh, that's easy. Joe.
That is absolutely correct as well. He was a troublemaker.
No, I don't think that's true. But,
oh, well, that's what we heard. Well, according to Ron, you're all troublemakers. But
yeah.
We love having you guys around here. It's great. Thanks for coming on, Joe. I know you got a busy schedule. We need to get you back to quote and bid. So thank you for watching this week's edition of Happy Hour. I'm JD Brake. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to smack that like button below. And if you want notifications on brand new videos that are coming out tailored just for you, be sure to subscribe right here to the Jackson Systems YouTube channel. Now, if there's some videos you missed, you can always check it out right here. Go ahead and click subscribe. Other videos, like.